Hice for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And with all my colleagues here, thank each of you for being here. And our hearts do go up. There's so many question marks in this whole thing, and we thank you for coming. Special Agent Dodson, let me go back to you. And as the chairman was just saying, your testimony with how you've been ostracized and outcast and all this kind of stuff is just inexcusable. You've explained even, in fact, what you just explained, even criminal charges, attempts for criminal charges. Were those charges related to the whistleblowing?
They were partially, yes, sir, and in retaliation for it. They openly threatened to prosecute me with a violation of the grand jury 6E secrecy rule. They actually brought in an FFL in the Phoenix area and attempted to suborn perjury from him to indict me for witness tampering. They illegally transmitted classified material to me in an FBI skiff in Phoenix, which I had I had clearance for, but I had no need to know, in the hopes of prosecuting me for either its mishandling or its release. And they openly and very publicly tried to, or announced a desire to have me prosecuted for perjury for my original testimony here 6 years ago.
And who is they?
Well, sir, that's a good question. It's one of the ones that we could hope that this committee could ultimately answer one day. Some of them were members of my former chain of command. Others were Department of Justice officials.
Okay, I want to come back to that here in just a few moments. Are you aware of others besides yourself who suffered for coming forward to blow the whistle?
Yes, sir, many. And there are many that still suffer. Like I say, my story is just that. It's from me, but there are other agents that have attempted to blow the whistle or bring forth, misconduct and mishandling by the agency, both my agency and other agencies, but they are still in turmoil. They're still just getting chewed up in the gears of government, and it's this cultural aspect of it, this bureaucracy and the size of the entities that they are, that keeps a lot of them from ever being heard, that prevents them from getting the opportunities like I have here. And this is one of the reasons that I don't take this lightly at all. This is, I can't tell you, we could fill this room and several more just like it with other people that have been through situations similar that I have, that have a story to tell, and it's just as important, and it's happening to them every day.
And we don't take it lightly either. So you would say that there's obviously many people who, for fear of the retaliation, are not going to blow the whistle because they've seen what's happened to you and others. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir. And I can say I don't feel that anything, in any way, how ATF or Department of Justice handled me or my situation would give anyone the idea that whistleblowing is a favorable activity.
Okay, so those who have been involved in whistleblower retaliation, are they still at the ATF?
Yes, sir. There are a number of.
Okay. Can you give us some names?
Could I provide that in another format, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know Bill Newell?
Yes, sir. He was my former special agent in charge.
Do you know where he is today?
My understanding, he is assigned to the Salt Lake City office.
All right, so still with ATF. Has he received promotions?
I cannot say, sir.
Do you know Dave Voth?
He was my former supervisor on the strike force in Phoenix, yes, sir.
And where is he today?
I believe he is in Minnesota.
Hope McAllister?
Yes, sir. She was the case agent involved in Fast and Furious.
And where is she?
She's still in Phoenix.
Do you know that the ATF's Professional Review Board recommended that Newell be fired and that both Voth and McAllister be disciplined?
I had heard that, yes, sir. I don't know it firsthand, but I'm aware of that.
Are you aware of any discipline? Obviously, Newell was not fired. He's still working.
That's to my understanding, yes, sir.
Would you provide a list of others who are involved in this?
I can, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's a part of our responsibility to find out why Mr. Newell was not fired, and whether or not there was any discipline directed towards Voth or McAllister, and if not, why not? I think these people and others that Special Agent Dodson will provide for us need to be held accountable to the full extent. And I would just ask, Mr. Chairman, that we follow this as closely as we can, and we see to it that justice is done, and that those who are responsible for this are held accountable. I yield back.